This right next to me is the Skoda Kamiq, and it's a small compact SUV with German build quality, loads of equipment features and clever practicality. However, in the past year it has received a $10,000 price increase, so is it something still worth considering over its main competitors? Well, in this review we're going to find out. So first I'm going to talk about the different model grades and options, then talk about the exterior, the interior, its practicality, infotainment, the powertrain, and then I'm going to drive it. Let's start the review talking about a brief overview about the Kamiq. So on your screen now, I've listed out all the different variants available, including the Kamiq's price range, alongside the different engine choices as well. And it is the type of vehicle that competes with the Ford Puma, the Peugeot 2008, and the Toyota Yaris Cross. And for options, there are 8 colours to pick from, and these are what they look like on the online configurator. Let's now move on to the exterior. So this particular example is finished in Phoenix Orange Metallic, and up the front you have Skoda's signature split headlight design. The main headlights are full LEDs, and up the top are your LED daytime running lights. You've also got the signature Skoda grille up front, with gloss black inserts and chrome on the outer parts. And if we have a look at the Kamiq from the side, it features aluminium roof rails along with privacy glass and 18-inch alloy wheels on this top spec version. And moving towards the rear design of the Kamiq, it features full rear LED taillights at the back with progressive indicators and this interesting design pattern on the corner. And lastly, styling is subjective, so let me know what you guys think of the overall design in the comment section down below. But for now, let's move on to the interior. And once we're inside, the overall presentation of the Kamiq, the cabin still looks and feels very premium, and it feels very well screwed together. There's also a really huge panoramic glass sunroof, and if we move on to the touch points, you get a leather wrapped steering wheel that feels very nice to hold. You also get soft touch materials on top of the door and even on top of the dashboard as well. The center armrest is squidgy, even the switchgear feels high quality. There is some plastic along here, and it does get a bit durable down the bottom like most cars, but overall it feels very well put together. And to get comfortable, the steering offers both tilt and reach adjustment. The steering wheel can also be heated. You also have dual zone climate control along with heated front seats, and for the driver you have electric adjustment with lumbar support and manual adjustment for the passenger. Now, if we move on to technology, it all runs off this 9.2-inch display. And in terms of operation, not only you can use the touchscreen, you've also got touch-sensitive shortcut buttons on either side of the screen, or you can operate some of the key functions using the steering wheel buttons, along with physical dials for the dual zone climate control. But it is worth mentioning that you have to go into a dedicated air conditioning menu to adjust things like the fan speed and direction of flow. But apart from that, it is a pretty easy system to work out. And in terms of your key features, there's ambient lighting, an 8-speaker sound system, satellite navigation, voice control along with Siri integration, AM, FM and DAB radio, along with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which are both wireless. And for safety, you have autonomous emergency braking, along with radar cruise control, lane departure warning, a steering assist function, blind spot assist, a rear cross traffic alert, front and rear parking sensors, and a 360-degree camera. And you can look at a stack of different views around the car, which is quite handy for the city. And lastly, there is an automatic parking assist, so this car has the ability to park itself. Now, moving on to the center is a 10.25-inch digital instrument cluster, which is known as Skoda's virtual cockpit. There is a bunch of information you can cycle through, and it's also pretty configurable, and you can also change the theme layout as well. And overall, the graphics are very clear. And lastly, moving on to practicality. So the glove box is a decent size, and you've got a decent center armrest, which is also adjustable, 2 small cup holders in the center, along with wireless phone charging and 2 USB-C charging ports. You've also got storage along here, and on the doors, decent door pockets that can also fit a liter of water. And lastly, if you open up the door, there is a hidden umbrella on the side, like what you would find on a Rolls Royce, so that's pretty clever. Let's now move on to the back seats inside the Kamiq. So I'm a full-size adult, and I have this front seat set my driving position, and as you can see, I've got a decent amount of knee room, decent amount of toe room, and good headroom, considering this top spec signature model features a panoramic glass sunroof. And in addition to this top specification, the rear seats can be heated on the 2 outboard seats. However, as standard, there are some map pockets, rear air conditioning conditioning vents along with 2 USB-C charging ports and decent door bin storage on the rear doors. And lastly, for baby seats, the 2 outboard seats are ISOFIX compatible, and right behind me there are 3 top tether points. Let's now move on to the boot space. So all variants of the Kamiq receive a power operated tailgate as standard, and once it's open, as you can see, it reveals a nice square opening, and there's 400 litres of boot capacity, so large enough for prams, suitcases and your weekly shopping. And the floor itself goes down pretty deep, however you do have this load lip here. Besides that, it is quite clever. You've got this reversible floor mat with rubber on one side and carpet on the other side. You've also got shopping bag hooks on the left hand side there and handy little storage slots. And lastly, if you need even more room, you can quite easily drop the second row, revealing more space in the back. Let's now move on to the powertrain. So there are 2 engine choices available for the Kamiq. There's the 3-cylinder 85 TSI engine, and if you upgrade to either the Monte Carlo or the Signature, like this one, it receives a 110 TSI 4-cylinder engine, and all variants of the Kamiq receive a 7-speed DSG gearbox, sending power to the front wheels. Okay, let's now move on to the driving impressions, starting off with how it feels. It is refined, it is comfortable, it is quiet, and around town it soaks up the bumps very well. As you can see there, it has soft suspension, the steering is nice and accurate, so it's easy to dart it into the direction where you want it to go. And if you do need to accelerate quickly, it is pretty responsive, and the DSG gearbox syncs in very well with this powertrain. And I think in this small SUV segment, if you want the best driving experience, the best refinement and the best build quality, then this is the pick. And in terms of fuel consumption, Skoda claims this car can achieve 5.4 litres per 100, whereas I've achieved 6.1 litres over a combined cycle with a mixture of city and freeway driving. But to be fair, I have been driving around in the city a lot, and compared to other rivals in this small SUV market, I do believe the Kamiq offers the best driving experience, the best refinement, the best build quality. It's also very easy to park, so I'll just try this spot here, flick it into reverse. Good all-round visibility, large windows and decent sized wing mirrors. You've got front and rear parking sensors on this model grade, and the camera quality is good as well. And as you can see, that is easy to do. And in relation to the engines, you have 2 to choose from, and if I was to choose, I would not go for the 85 TSI 3-cylinder because I have driven that engine in my Volkswagen T-Cross review, and it is a good little engine. But if you do want more refinement and more performance, then this is definitely the powertrain to pick, the 110 4-cylinder. So what is my final verdict on the Kamiq? Well, in terms of the way it drives, I think the 4-cylinder engine is the one to go for, and overall it is quite practical. It's also built very well, and the equipment features are very good for this class as well. It is a shame it is one of the most expensive options out of this segment to pick from, but overall it does feel the most premium. So I hope you enjoyed the review. Please like this video, share and subscribe, and hit that bell icon to receive a notification every time I upload a new car review, and I will see you in the next film.